There is a moment every man has felt at least once in his life, but almost nobody talks about it. A moment where the air subtly shifts, where silence becomes charged, where a woman looks at you in a way that feels almost like an invitation, but wrapped in mystery. You feel something subtle but undeniable, something human, something real. And yet, you hesitate. Not because you're unsure of your own desire, but because you know one wrong word can close the door and one right word can open a connection that pulls her closer than you expected. Most men underestimate how deeply words affect a woman's attraction. They think women fall for looks, money, or confidence alone. But the truth is far more nuanced. A woman's mind is a world, a universe, a landscape filled with meaning, memory, fears, hopes, and unspoken instincts she rarely reveals openly. And when a man asks the right question, the kind that bypasses her surface and enters her deeper layers, everything changes instantly. Her eyes soften, her guard loosens, her emotional rhythm shifts toward you. You aren't just talking anymore. You're reaching her. You're accessing a version of her most men never experience. Most women go through life giving men polite answers, predictable answers, safe answers. But when a man triggers the emotional instinct to open up, she begins revealing the side of her that is real, spontaneous, vibrant, feminine, and emotionally alive. Today, you learn how to access that version of her. The 6 questions women love to answer. These aren't pickup lines, they're not tactics, they're not manipulation. These are deeply human, psychologically potent, emotionally grounding questions that activate a woman's inner world. If you ask them with calm presence and stoic grounding, you unlock doors most men never even see. Let's begin. Question 1. What's something you've always wanted to try but never have? This question taps into one of the deepest emotional currents in a woman's mind, her hunger for possibility. Women are imaginative by nature. They visualize futures in vivid detail, emotionally, sensually, spiritually. When you ask this question, you don't just start a conversation, you open a portal. You give her permission to step into a version of herself she may never have shared with anyone. Some women will keep it light, travel, a new career, skydiving, moving to a new city, but others will open a deeper layer. Writing a book, healing from a past wound, leaving a toxic cycle, learning something she was once afraid to try, exploring a desire she never voiced. When she shares these things, she's not just talking, she is revealing who she dreams of becoming. And here's the psychological anchor. She unconsciously begins associating you with excitement, expansion, and emotional possibility. Not because you did anything dramatic, but because you activated a part of her she deeply wants to express. Women are attracted to men who make them feel more alive, not men who try to impress them. Question 2. What was the most meaningful part of your day? Most men ask, "How was your day?" But this question? It forces her into emotional reflection. She must search for meaning, not routine. She has to connect with her inner world, not her schedule. Maybe her meaningful moment was a moment of quiet with her coffee, a deep conversation with a friend, time at the gym where she felt strong, a creative spark, a moment of peace she rarely gets. Whatever she chooses reveals what nourishes her spirit, her emotional anchor, the inner rhythm she lives by. And here's the psychological shift. When a woman talks about what feels meaningful, she feels safe. And emotional safety is one of the strongest triggers for feminine openness. Her guard lowers, her tone softens, her eyes warm. She begins associating you with peace, not pressure, with grounding, not noise, with presence, not performance. And peace is one of the rarest forms of attraction. Question 3. What kind of people do you feel most comfortable around? This question looks simple, but it is a psychological masterpiece. Because when a woman describes the people she feels comfortable with, she is describing the kind of man she wants. If she says, calm people, she's tired of chaos. Funny people, she craves lightness. Deep thinkers, she feels misunderstood. Ambitious people, she wants a growth-oriented partner. Emotionally stable people, she's been hurt before. She's telling you everything without saying it directly. And she will instinctively compare her description to you. Women do this automatically. If even half of her description matches your vibe, she will feel comfortable with you instantly. And here's the truth most men never understand. Women don't fall for men they're attracted to. Women fall for men they feel comfortable being themselves around. This question creates that comfort instantly. Question 4. What's something about yourself you're proud of, but rarely talk about? This is where emotional intimacy begins. Women are taught to downplay their achievements, hide their strengths, and stay humble. But every woman carries hidden victories, private accomplishments, personal growth, moments of resilience, hidden talents, battles she overcame alone. When she answers this question, she reveals her identity, not her persona. She shows you her emotional strength, her intelligence, her discipline, her heart, her uniqueness, her journey. And when a woman feels seen for who she is, not how she looks, she forms a deep internal bond with the man who created that space. Women don't fall for men who impress them. They fall for men who invite their soul to breathe. Question 5. What's something that instantly relaxes you or brings you peace? This question taps into her emotional sanctuary. Women often carry enormous mental load, from social pressures to emotional responsibilities to the expectations placed on them. So when she talks about what brings her peace, reading, nature, warm showers, journaling, scented candles, music, spiritual rituals, silence, she is sharing her emotional self-care blueprint. And here's the psychological magic. When she talks about what relaxes her, her body begins to feel that relaxation. And because she's feeling it while talking to you, her nervous system begins associating peace with your presence. Most men trigger tension. A Stoic man triggers calmness. And calmness is one of the strongest forms of attraction. Question 6. What's something you look forward to in the future? This is the most powerful question of all, because it pulls her into her emotional timeline, her dreams, her vision, her evolution. She may open up about career goals, travel dreams, emotional growth, spiritual aspirations, relationship hopes, becoming a stronger, more grounded version of herself. And when a woman shares her future, she subconsciously imagines who in her present might fit into that future. If she feels calm, respected, and understood while talking to you, her mind naturally wonders, is this a man who aligns with the life I'm building? Attraction without direction fades. Attraction with emotional alignment grows. This is how emotional connection becomes romantic magnetism. Most men try to attract women by performing. A Stoic man attracts women by being present, grounded, attentive, emotionally steady. These 6 questions are not tricks, they are invitations. Invitations into a woman's internal world. Use them with calmness, use them with intention, use them with masculine stillness, and watch how fast she opens. Watch how deeply she reveals herself. Watch how naturally she begins leaning toward you. Because when a woman feels seen, she cannot help but feel drawn.